Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and in today's video we're going to be learning how to make a tank game in Scratch. Now this is a two-player game and both players can play the game on the same PC, one using the arrow keys and the other using the WASD keys, or whichever ones you prefer. Basically, when you start the project you can see that there are two tanks on screen, one red and one blue. One tank moves using the arrow keys like this and the other tank moves using the WASD keys. Both tanks can shoot bullets like this, and if you shoot the other tank then you win. It's a ton of fun to play with two players. It looks a little bit awkward right now because I'm just one guy filming right now. But when you play it with two players, it's a ton of fun. Now let's get right into how to make this project on Scratch. And as always guys, if you enjoyed the video, then make sure to drop a like, get subscribed, and also check out some of the other videos on the channel as well, because they're awesome too. But right now, let's get into how to make this fun game on Scratch. Okay guys, so to start off with, I'm going to delete the Scratch sprite here because I don't need it for this project. Now I'm going to make a new sprite and I'm going to add a costume that I already have in my backpack so that we can save time. You guys can design a tank if you want using this editor right here, but I'm not going to waste too much time. I'm going to make another sprite and then I'm going to name this one Blue Tank. This is going to be the opponent tank or player 2 basically. So now that I have both the tanks loaded in, I'm going to rename them quickly just so that it's easier for us to recognize them. Okay, now that we're done, the other thing that we need for this project is bullets, because obviously how are you going to kill the other guy if you don't have a bullet? So I'm going to make a new sprite and I'm going to load these costumes in too and quickly get our sprites done. Okay, so now that we're done with all that, you can see that all the sprites are loaded in. Now the next thing that we want to do is you want to get these up to size because this is way too small. I'm going to get a green flag clicked and let's see if we can get this up to proper size. Now as always, I'm going to drag in two of these blocks because I don't want to increase a percentage made in the previous run. Let's see if this works. I think we'll go a little bit higher. Great. I'm going to transfer this quickly to the blue tank as well. There we go. So now if you click the green flag, you can see that these guys are up to size. Now the next thing that we want to do is program both the tanks and their movement. And that's going to happen if we use the if loops and the arrow key statements in the sensing tab. So let's do that real quick. I'm going to grab another when green flag clicked, and since we're programming the blue tank, I'm going to use WSD keys to program this one. So what we're going to do is go to control, grab a forever loop, and then we're going to put an if then loop inside it. I'm going to duplicate this 4 times so that we can get the up, down, left, right keys in place. I'm going to go to the sensing tab and you can see this key space pressed. So we're going to drag that and put it in the if loop, and then we're going to make this WASD respectively. Okay, so now that we have all the 4 keys in place, the next thing that we're going to do is we're going to put blocks inside the if loops. So let's change X instead by 4. For the A key, I'm going to go for the change angle here. So turn right 15 degrees because A moves it left, sorry. So we're going to take the turn left. And here, let's say about 3 degrees, I think. Then we're going to duplicate these blocks and put it in the S. And I'm going to put a -4 here. And then we're going to go turn right for the D key. So we're going to turn this to 3 as well. Great. So now if we click the green flag, you can see that our tank is now moving. Great. Oh, so we have changed X here. So this is a little bit glitchy. So now let's see what block we can use. Okay, so I think we can use the move 10 steps block. So I'm going to put this here and change this to 4 steps. And here I'll remove this block and put -4 here so that it moves in the opposite direction. Great, so now if we run it again, you can see that our tank is fully functional. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing for the red tank, but instead of WASD here, we're going to put the up, down, left and right arrows. So let me do that real quick and I'll see you guys in a bit. Okay, so I've done the same thing for the red tank as well, and now if we run the green flag, you can see that both the tanks work just fine. Now obviously when we click the stop and then we click play again, they're going to be in random positions. So real quick, let's just set this so that the red tank goes over here and the blue tank goes down here. You can set this to whatever your preference is, but I'm just going to do it like this for now. Basically, I'm going to go to the events tab and then I'm going to go to motion and see when green flag clicked, I'm going to say point in direction 90 so that it points straight, and then we're going to say go to xy, let's say what it is right now. So go to x minus 188 and y 141. For the blue tank, I'm going to do the same thing, but we're going to point in direction minus 90 because we wanted to point towards the red tank. So let's move it this side. And now that we're done with that, let's change the x and y position. Let's say about here. So that is 190 and negative 145. Great. Now that we have that going, let's program the bullets so that they shoot out of the tanks. To start off with, I'm going to go here and I'm going to reduce the size of this bullet because it's a little too big to come out of the tank. So let's see, when green flag clicked, we're going to go to looks and then as always drag out two of these set sizes, and let's set this one to about 60%, I think. That should do. Yeah, if you position this here, then you can see that it's pretty much fine. So I'm going to give this to the blue bullet as well so that both of them shrink down to size. Great. So to ideally start with, we don't want the bullet showing on screen. So I'm gonna say when green flag click, hide. Now the next thing that we want to do is we want it to go to the back layer so that it comes out from behind the tank. So I'm gonna say go to front layer. We're gonna put this here and change this to back instead. And now we're gonna start with the actual coding so that the bullet comes out of the tank. I'm gonna grab another when green flag clicked and we're gonna go for a forever loop, and let's put an if loop inside that. Go to sensing tab and then say if key space pressed. Since this is the red bullet and it operates on the arrow keys, I think that the space key is the best one to launch the bullet. You can change this to whatever you want to. So if key space pressed, then let's see, we're gonna start with going to the tank, sorry. So for that, we're going to individually make another script, and in fact, let's do this. If key space press, then let's say create a clone of ourselves so that it will start making the bullet. Then we're going to say show. In fact, let's show when the clone is started. So control, and then we're going to grab a wait 1 second and change this to 0.5 or something, just so that the player can't go spamming bullets everywhere. And now what we're going to do is we're going to start the cloning script. So if you go down here, when I start as clone, the first thing we want it to do is go to the tank. So for that, we're going to have to make it go to random position, and we're going to change this to the red tank, obviously, because this is the red bullet. And now that we have that going, we're going to say the point in the direction of the red tank, because obviously we want it to shoot in that direction. So we're going to go and we're going to say point in direction, and then we're going to change this to direction of red tank, which you can find in the sensing tab here. I'm going to plop that in there, and I'm going to change this to the red tank and this to the direction. Brilliant. So now when we click this, it goes to the red tank. Now as always, you can see that it's now behind the red tank and it looks as if it's coming out of the tank. Now the next thing that we're going to do is grab another when we start as clone, and then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we're going to program this such that it comes out of the bullet. So we're going to say when the clone is created, we want it to obviously show the bullet. Then the next thing we want it to do is we want it to repeat until. So we're going to go to control and grab that, and we're going to say touching edge. So we're going to go here and make this touching edge. We're going to say move, let's say about 8 steps, I guess. That should do. Yeah, that's a good bullet speed. And then we're going to say hide so that it hides when it touches the edge. In fact, let's put an OR here and make this blue tank as well. Great. Now let's see this if this works. Brilliant. You can see that the bullet is now fully functional. I can even spam bullets like that, and since we have the wait 0.5 seconds, now we can see that we can't spam bullets everywhere, but we can just about kill the guy. Great. Now the next thing that we're going to do is we're basically going to transfer this script to the blue bullet, but we're going to say blue tank instead of red tank everywhere. So I'll do that real quick and I'll show you guys, and I'll see you in a bit. Okay guys, so now you can see that I've transferred this script to the blue bullet as well, and now if you click the green flag and we click the E button, then you can see that the blue bullet shoots as well. as always guys, you know that you can make some extra edits to the game. Like when I showed in the example, you can add a end screen that says red wins or blue wins. That's really easy to do. Basically, you can go to the red tank, and here you can go in the forever loop and grab another if loop and say if I'm touching the blue bullet, which basically means that the blue tank shot me, then you can tell it to broadcast a message like, let's say, blue wins. So let's do this. Let's broadcast a message called blue wins, and you want to hide as well. We're going to basically do the same thing for the blue tank as well. And when we have this in place, instead of saying blue bullet, we're going to say red bullet here, and we're going to broadcast a message called red wins. And once we come here, we're also going to say when I receive blue wins, we want to hide, and we're going to do the same thing for red wins as well, so that we don't want the bullet on screen. Lastly, we're going to come here and we're going to say that when I broadcast blue wins, we want to change the backdrop. So we're going to come here and we're going to say switch backdrop to, and we're going to say blue wins. Now, just earlier I created two backdrops called red wins and blue wins. So you guys can do that and decorate it however you want. I'm not going to go too much into that. But basically, once we have this in place, we're going to do the same thing for the blue tank as well. So I'm going to say switch backdrop to, and instead of blue wins, we're going to say red wins. And that's pretty much it. If we try this out, then you can see that we have the raised background here. And if we shoot a bullet, then, and if it touches it, you can see that we say blue wins. And if we restart the game, then we can see that the tanks are not shown. So you can come up to the top here and simply put in show. That will solve the problem for you. So let's put that in there and that here, and that should do it. So now if we try it with the red tank, then you'll see that it says red wins. That's pretty much all we have, guys. If you enjoyed, then make sure to subscribe, like the video, comment down below something for me to go through while I'm reading the comments, because I respond to every single one of your comments. And yeah, make sure to check out some of the other videos on the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.